Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time zone it is, wherever you're in the world. It is your Lore Saviour, and yeah, you did have a good look at that title and thumbnail properly before clicking on this video. What you saw is a new White Wolf Publishing logo. Yes, Paradox did dissolve White Wolf Publishing due to some problematic writing in 2018, I want to say. So right near the beginning of the 5th edition line, but they're bringing it back, which was formally announced last night on the 23rd of May 2025 in the Everlord Talos, roughly between 7:30 PM and 7:45 UK time, or at least that's when these photos appeared on Blue Sky, because some members of the Lore by Night Discord server had highlighted that some people on Blue Sky were losing their shit because they were under the impression that By Night Studios had now become White Wolf, which is not the case. It's just the fact that they're bringing back White Wolf back to do a whole bunch of things, which is the very topic of this video. But for the announcement proper, no, White Wolf has not become By Night Studios or the other way round. What it is Paradox's attempt is to bring the World of Darkness material in-house, to return to their roots. It's a very ambitious claim, if he says very biasly, which I'll touch upon that in a moment. I'm going to show you this wall of text and this screenshot. There's two screenshots actually, one of which comes from the World of Darkness Discord server, which was done by Outstar at the time, and another one is a clear one because a friend copied and pasted it because, I don't know why actually, probably there's a preservation thing, and I'm very glad that they did that, because we're going to touch upon that in a moment. So as you can see, it talks about being transparent, it talks about like connecting more with the fans and bringing things back to its roots, and in this bit of text it's sort of implying a little bit that White Wolf is going to focus more on the video game side of things and let all their licensing publishers handle like the board games, the TTRPGs and all the rest of it. And the first publishing project that White Wolf will be a part of is Bloodlines 2, which some have hypothesized that this is an attempt to, I don't know, distance themselves, or at least Paradox distance themselves from Bloodlines 2, because we've seen articles where they currently have no faith in Bloodlines 2, and if they're going to do sequels to Bloodlines, it's going to be dealt by other parties, and I think this is how they're doing it. They're making White Wolf handle all of that shit. But that's just a bit of speculation that I'm just going to mention anyway. But the reason why is that I have mentioned that these are screenshots and someone has copied and pasted it, is that when I was collecting screenshots for all this shit this morning, the same news site provided this wall of text. So in their attempt to be more transparent, to clear things up and include an inspirational quote from one of the team that works there, they've already broken their promise. And this is like less than 12 hours from when I went to bed to when I got up, you know, to get screenshots for this very video. Like, come on people, what the fuck are you doing? Little nitpicks aside, this is a very interesting little update. Like, why are they doing this now? We all thought that the World of Darkness brand thing was working for them, so what's the change? Well, there isn't anything official about that yet, but I can assume that this may be as a result from the surveys that people were filling out a few months ago. I never did a video on it, but I know I did a YouTube post about it in the community tab. And I know, just from engaging and looking at the community, there was a lot of tension, and there still is, because who would have thunk that calling your in-game universe a company, when the vast majority of people still call it White Wolf, was a good idea, that it wouldn't just be a little bit confusing. Because most people I see interact with World of Darkness that still call it White Wolf, they still think it's a thing. So bringing it back as White Wolf might be a good idea, but it just shows a little bit that Paradox and or World of Darkness have no fucking clue what they're doing regarding the brand's direction, because this is like the 4th brand change in 7 years. I won't deny that upon hearing this and reading up about it on Paradox's website, that I was stunned, I was baffled, I was agog, I was aghast. It's better than the upper... Sorry, I'll stop with the lamest references, but it was just so bizarre and shocking to me that all of this has happened. But then as the night went on, I was sitting and digesting the conversations and the information that has been presented, the stuff I showed you first, And again this morning when I saw the updated news article, which I forgot to mention, the links that are mentioned in that second site, well, that second printing of the news, I guess, it contains the White Wolf logos and banners, which are suspiciously YouTube and Instagram shaped, and pictures of the people mentioned in the article, mostly of Jason Carl, interestingly enough. Because of course we've got to have one of the two poster childs of the World of Darkness brand up there for some reason. Having digested all of that information, what this is a real, as the Americans have been calling this, a nothing burger. It's a PR stunt. Because you may recall that in 2020, when the V5 companion guide came out, it was announced that World of Darkness is now a brand. They were going to be taking everything in-house, and Renegade was going to be publishing the TTRPG materials. And they're bringing everything in all in-house, and the video games and all the rest of it. And this is exactly the same thing. It's just now not called World of Darkness, it's now White Wolf again. So there's really nothing there, although I would like to see how they define like ease, canon, direction, or whatever the exact wording was. What, is that going to be like another PDF that's going to be lost on the Renegade site or Paradox site, which most people won't use because people do not trust Paradox as a game company and don't want to send them their email just so they can access some fairly vital 5th edition materials? Does that mean they're going to stop putting things on Drive-Thru-RPG? Like, we're still in the middle of sending the Onyx Path materials over to Renegade to sort out and edit and change and, you know, not credit the original authors at all when they copy and paste things over into their other books. All the other things that they've done with their authors, the checklist stuff for the Camarilla, the whole entirety of World of the Apocalypse 5th edition, how their community team and legendary lead developers were basically at one point attacking people who were upset with the changes to the Sabbat book, the change in lore, how lore was not really a focus, how metaplot was bad, how all of this was gatekeeping, how they fostered a community of fans who attacked those who just don't like one or two changes. Maybe they don't like the entire edition. Yes, you get people that just complains about 5th edition being woke nonsense, but those people aren't relevant to the discussion. But any sort of... it's been a real toxic 4 years across the whole fucking board. And now they want to return things to their roots and like try and bring people back in. Well, in my totally biased opinion, it's a little too fucking late, mate. And I'm not the only one who has that opinion, mind you. I'm not alone in this by any means of the imagination. Because everywhere I've looked, Blue Sky, various Discord servers, my own Discord server, and other conversations online, most people seem to have one of two reactions to this. It's either, oh, I doubt they're going to do anything about this, they really need to do something major to like convince me that this is a new direction and change for them. Or, I don't care, who is this for? Like, I'm much happier with the older stuff that I've done, and that's kind of really the sad thing, to be honest, because everything I've just been ranting about, you have pushed away your fan base, you have divided them. It is monumentally impressive just how the World of Darkness team, well, how White Wolf team, again, I guess, has managed to damage the fan base and the communities within the World of Darkness. White Wolf, see, that's just going to take some time to get used to now, I guess. Like, and all the insults, all the bullshit, all the mishandling with Onyx Path and its various authors. And also, just to go back with Onyx Path a little bit, what does this mean for Chronicles of Darkness? Are you going to stop copying and pasting ideas from Chronicles of Darkness and force them to work within World of Darkness? Like, you're going to let them do World of Darkness stuff again? What does that actually mean for them? Well, I don't think it means anything. I think it's just a load of fluff just to keep people on board. Especially when the only people I've seen really excited about this are the people who were at the LARP event. But I suppose if you want to spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars to participate in a LARP event hosted by a bunch of misogynists, transphobes and racists, then I suppose you'll be excited by anything, I guess. I'm also not a fan of the suggestion in the first iteration of that post that White Wolf is going to be handling more the video game side of things, and the TTRPG, you know, the thing that the World of Darkness is actually known for, taken on the back burner with their licensing partners. And I'm not saying this as somebody who doesn't like video games. Some of my earliest moments in life were fucking playing video games. I very clearly remember playing Pokemon Blue on an old Game Boy that I don't have anymore. I think I've got the Game Boy Color hiding somewhere, but I know it plays on the Game Boy Advances that I have. I still have that copy of Pokemon Blue, I was barely 1 year old. Now, it's neither here or there whether I should have been playing it that fucking young, but the point is, I love video games. I would not be here if it was not for that early moment, so you can't really complain about that, really. But the point is, some things work well for video games, and as we have seen, or at least I feel that we have seen, a lot of the video games of the World of Darkness haven't really been doing all that well. Or maybe they have, and that is why they are gearing towards that a lot more. Because the video game company is obviously wanting to make money off of the fucking video games, and the TTRPGs is far too niche to advertise, but a video game, ooh, that's where the money's at. Which I find a very frustrating thing. Now, hopefully I'm wrong about that, and yes, it makes a lot of sense for Paradox to go where the money is, but at what cost? So in short, it is very difficult for me to be remotely optimistic about a company that has spent the last 4 years gatekeeping its fan base, letting their community team and lead developers attack fans and provide scapegoats for their own shitty behaviours, and barely apologising for the fuck-ups that they've made, even just the bare bones of, we may have handled the brand name incorrectly. Now, it would be very interesting to see how they handle all of this and what they actually do going forward, and it would have been nice if they actually gave some examples about what they were going to do in the future. But of course, they're just going to drip feed their fucking fan base. You know, the most loyal of diehards who will spend hundreds or even thousands on LARP events, stupid amounts of money on merch and special pride pins, which is so fucking surface level, particularly with what we know about the people who run the fucking shit. But that's what World of Darkness is now, apparently. Another victim to late-stage capitalism. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed by all of this, can you tell? Yeah, but that's what happens when World of Darkness comes up in conversation again. I get fucking bitter and salty. And I think that's a bloody fine place to end my rambling and for you to carry on the conversation in the comments below. How do you feel about all this? Good, bad, indifferent? Are you as bitter as salty as I am, or do you just not give a fuck? Let me know in all your opinions in the comments below. Now, of course, we will be getting updates from White Wolf, World of Darkness, Paradox, whatever you want to fucking call it, at some time in the future. Now, if things happen as this video uploads, then, well, sorry, we're just going to have to live with a bit of outdated information, but if anything significant happens and it doesn't wind me up too much talking about it, I'll do a follow-up video or follow-up videos, but I don't want to focus too much attention on this if it's just going to bring me down, because quite frankly, this has brought me down enough, but this is important for you lot, World of Darkness / White Wolf / whatever the fuck you want to call it now, enthusiasts. So let me know about all your thoughts and opinions of this shit in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share this to any and everyone who loves what I do, subscribe to the Lore by Night channel, and I'll see you on the next upload, whatever that may well be for you. Until next time, farewell.